There we go. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this Friday, April 12th, Featured Fem, featuring Pamela Froese, the leader of the Essential Vine. Pam works with doTERRA as a leader. She is actually my up leader in doTERRA, and I'm so excited to be launching my business with her help. I met Pamela, probably a few months ago at a Christmas party, and we've had a few Zoom chats since, and her presence has just made even running this side of my business so much easier. So welcome, Pamela. It's so great to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to be here and chat.
Yeah, I love that you were able to get a babysitter and do this for yourself and your business. That's so great. So what I like to do is just jump head first right into it. And let me know a little bit about your journey to oils.
Okay, so hi everybody. I am super excited to be joining Karina. She is a special person in my life now. So I have been using essential oils now for about 4 to 5 years, and it was a dear friend back then that introduced me. I attended a simple one-on-one oil class, and I was kind of already dabbling with oils, I'd say, for about 3 to 4 years previous to that, looking for using some more natural solutions in my home. I was a fairly new mom. I believe I had 2 kids at the time. I have 4 children now, and I was just looking to clear up a few things in our home. So I had a son that was dealing with really severe eczema, and anything that I had used, whether it was medicinal or from the pharmacy, nothing seemed to be really helping us. And it was to the point where I would cut little socks, and he would wear them around his legs and his arms because he would scratch himself so bad that he would start bleeding. So he was under 2 at the age, and so I had been introduced to doTERRA and seen that there was some really great salves that you can make using essential oils and DIY products. So I started switching out, say, our laundry, using the wool balls in our laundry, taking away any of the toxins there that were in our home. And I started making him salves using cedarwood and lavender and frankincense and shea butter, and also working internally as well. I really believe so much stems from your gut. And within 2 weeks, I had seen a crazy drastic difference with his eczema. It was getting a lot better. And so that was just one of the turning points for me with doTERRA. Was like, okay, there's a little bit more to these oils. And it got me excited. So I had my kit. I started exploring how I could use them. I started diffusing daily with my children. And my husband and I had suffered really bad with allergies, seasonal allergies. We live on a farm, the soil, the fresh cut grass, you name it. It was to a point that, you'd wake up and your eyes were puffy, and you're just constantly sneezing. So we started using the oils for that, making little nasal inhalers, always diffusing when we were sleeping. And we saw a really big turnaround within 3 to 4 months of being consistent. And yeah, so the oils back then really changed so many things in our lives that we could not even imagine. I went to have 2 more children after that, after being introduced to doTERRA, and my pregnancies were quite difficult with morning sickness, and using ginger essential oil is my saving grace. I literally am sitting here with the bottle. I don't think of it. It's like, it's my safety. And so it had really, really helped me with my morning sickness and being able to use more of a natural remedy instead of always having to turn to something else. So using the oils in my pregnancies and my birth and then my postpartum, the recovery was tenfold. I am a strong advocate now for women incorporating oils in there safely, though. into their births and to their post-recovery. It's a really difficult and challenging time for women, and there are so many benefits to whether you're just diffusing, say, wild orange for a pick-me-up when your emotions are a roller coaster, to postpartum recovery can be really, really difficult, especially too if you have younger ones at home as well. So yeah, the oils have just kind of thrown me into this different world that I didn't really know about, but now I can't get enough of. I use them daily in our homes with our kids, and it's now created this beautiful community that I love to love on, and that you're a part of. And I have all these amazing women and men in our group and our team that we're worldwide. And it's kind of like a pinch me, like this is what I get to do every day. I'm a farmer's wife with 4 kids, but I also get to pour into you guys, and it comes right back to me as well from you. So yes.
I love that. I think that's part of the reason why I got into doTERRA as well, is because I was suffering from really bad depression and anxiety. And I was finding that Sam, my actual up leader in this, she introduced me through like a bracelet making party or something like that. And she gave me a little sample of Serenity. And although I don't really love the smell of Serenity, I'm not a huge like lavender kind of fan. It did help me sleep like a lot. And that was part of what I struggled with, was sleeping through that anxiety and depression. Okay. And then she also gave me a little bit of wild orange, which I would diffuse in the morning to help me like pick me up and like get me going. And you're so right. Like, I don't have any children, but my sister has 3, and she's always like calling me like, I can't be using this, this, and this because I'm breastfeeding. What oils can I use? Or so it just makes it so much easier when like she's sick and all that kind of stuff. So I love that you touched on that, because I think there is such a huge kind of like people are unsure, like when I'm doing this, is it safe to use during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum? And like you said, as long as you're using it safely, absolutely. So I love that. How else have you been integrating the oils, either with your family, or you have a new puppy now? Like, have you been using it with your new puppy at all?
Yes. So with our previous dog that passed away last year, I had been using the oils with her for probably about 3 years. So number one thing I usually do is I actually, when we got our new puppy, is I took lavender, diluted on my hands. And when I had been introduced to him, I kind of, patted him down a little. I had done 1 drop on his blanket in his crate. I'm all about diffusing around dogs, but definitely safely. I always say never keep them in an enclosed room with a diffuser. There could be a scent that they don't like. But one of my biggest takeaways with pets was using our tick away spray. So we live in a wooded area out on the farm, lots of bugs and everything. And when we started using like a DIY spray that I simply make up using the oils and water, it was really great to just be able to use something natural on them. And I would spray my kids down pretty much with the same solution before they go out and play, and I'd spray my dog down daily. So that's one way that I had used the oils. But I love doTERRA because we actually have a veterinarian panel now. And so there's a lot of go-to with this, with making sure that you're safe. There's some really great resources out there, veterinarians that are using the essential oils, and they're my resource, because this isn't my niche or my world, right? But I definitely see my puppy as my child, so I want to do the best for him. So that's one of the ways that so far we're using the oils. But I always say too, like, you could always add a little drop of a calming oil on their collar, and that could just, settle them down a little too. I've seen that work for my previous dog as well. So yeah, it's exciting.
It definitely is. It's one of the things that we have a rambunctious puppy, and I will be like, okay, what? I need to nap. What can I help?
Yeah, doing some sprays or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I also found too that I have diluted frankincense, and sometimes because they're two very big dogs, they'll get like scrapping, and I'll just give them a little bit of a spritz on their cut. And I know that like if they lick it, it's going to be fine.
I
And
love
it's also going to help, you know what I mean? So,
I didn't even know that, and that's really great, having like a pet boo-boo spray.
mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. I love that.
Yeah.
You're so right. Yeah.
So that's amazing. Can you let us know some of the classes or the workshops that you offer so that people who might be like, I don't know about just buying a kit right off the bat, how would someone get started with doTERRA?
Yeah, so I love to actually get in touch with the person, usually one-on-one. I do have a lot of friends, and our network is actually not in our local community. So a lot of it can be over Zoom or sending out a sample for them to have a touch experience with the oils. I think that's really important. And being able to come out to one of our workshops. So whether anybody on my team or myself that's doing a workshop, we have kids and oils coming up. You and I are working together with grief next month. I have a pregnancy and postpartum workshop coming up that I've partnered with a holistic health coach that will be offered in the Niagara region as well, and then probably Burlington. So I feel like we always have something on the go. So it's just great to connect with myself or anybody on my team, and I can send them an email and then just kind of see where they're at. I really want to see what kind of piques their interest for essential oils. Is, is it their child's immunity? Is it cough and cold season or allergies? Or is it sleep, like you had mentioned? And to be able to tailor maybe using a certain oil or a blend for them to try first if they're brand new to oils, or me simply I love to lend people my diffuser and give them oils to try first for say 3 to 5 days. And usually after that, they're pretty hooked. So it's neat.
Yeah, I find that the biggest skeptics after a night of sleep with some oils are like, okay, I'm into this. So that's amazing.
You convince the man. Yeah, then
Yeah.
you're sold, right? It's always the man or the husband, I find. It takes them a little long, but yeah.
Yeah, that's actually exactly my partner. He is always like, I don't know if these oils work. And then we'll be having a few, because I'm one of those people that I always forget. I'm like, I have all these oils and I'm used to like making them into different things like rollers. And I have like my go-to a few diffusings. But then when we're sick, I'm like, oh, this could actually help us. Right before I just got back from New Orleans, but right before that, I had a really bad upper respiratory viral infection to the point where like I couldn't breathe, and I diffused Breathe, and I added extra eucalyptus to it, and it really just like calmed me first and put me to sleep. And he slept really well, even with me like coughing. So that just like shows how good it can be.
That though, because that's the power of using essential oils, is that they're going to target so many different areas in your body system. So you didn't feel good, so they're opening up your respiratory system. But I also find that essential oil Breathe Easy Air, I find it very calming as well. And so it's doing that, and it's helping you sleep. Like, that's what I love about the oils, is it's not going to just target one thing that your body is definitely needing. So that's cool.
So why don't you tell us, for someone who might be completely new to oils, the different ways that you can actually use oils. So we've heard you talk about like diffusing it and making it a roller bottle, but what are some of the other products that doTERRA has out there, or that you can make on your own with the oils to support your overall health and well-being?
Yep. So quickly is just the 3 ways that I always like to share about using the oils. So I've talked a lot about aromatic use. That's the easiest and most simple way for somebody to start using the essential oils if they're brand new to them. Literally buying a diffuser, having that diffuser running, whether it's during the day for a pick-me-up or for nighttime for sleep. And, you can even aromatically putting them on, essential oil bracelet that you got, when you went to the party. So that's a really great way to wear your oils as well. You can use them internally. So I only ever recommend using doTERRA because there's no fillers or anything added. So you're only using the purest essential oil. So you can take those internally as well for immune support. You know, 1 drop in your water, I always have with me, very cleansing, really good for women as well, fighting off any, you know, like UTIs and that. I know that's a little too much, but like anything that can help us, right? Keep us healthy. And using the oils on your skin. So the best is to always safely dilute, whether you're brand new to oils or you're a user. I always love to dilute my oils. Use a fractionated coconut oil or a carrier oil. Use them always on the bottom of your feet. So you have the largest pores in your feet, so they'll absorb faster. And so with my kids at night, we like to do a little foot massage. And that could be, whether it could be On Guard to keep them healthy if we're kind of fighting something, or it could be Serenity, right, to help them sleep and just have that more deeper sleep. I find it really helps them with. So I love the touch experience of the oils, especially with my kids, because you can be so busy during the day, and with 4 kids, I mean, my kids always want me, right? They always want that touch. So it's like that extra experience maybe in the morning with them or at night, just really quiet down. And whether it's just putting a drop of wild orange or balance in our hands, in our palm, and we rub it together, we do 3 deep breaths and we count backwards, and just having that moment with them, and then being able to, you know, go down their spine with the oils and whatever they need, right? I love the touch experience of the oils, especially with my family. So we use the oils in our house. If I were to, I mean, anywhere from making DIY stuff with, you know, I used copaiba last night on my face, to, we have On Guard toothpaste and mouthwash that I'm obsessed with because it doesn't have any of the yucky stuff that we kind of, you know, the fluoride and that we don't really need. And so with my children, it was a little bit of a switch for them. It's a little spicy and a little hot for them, but it was one of the biggest wins, I think, in my house to get them off that and to get them using that. And I think using the On Guard line has changed the trajectory of our health in our house. I can say my daughter was recently sick with an ear infection after a water park, but my kids, I can count the amount of times on my one hand, probably in 3 years, that we've had colds or coughs, anything really bad. So to me, I know the oils are working and we're consistent with them. You know, we're washing our hands with the foaming On Guard soap. I'm spraying their hands down after. So we've eliminated a lot of the chemicals and the toxins, and we've shifted that with doTERRA. And that's what I love, is just the ease. I don't have to run out to the store to get hand soap or lotion, because that's what I'm using is pure and natural from doTERRA. And I order it and it shows up monthly, and it just makes my life that much less complicated. So I could list 100 things, that we're using. So,
I have to say the game changer for me was when I started using the shampoo. Because I went from dyeing my hair all the time, which is fine, to wanting just my natural color back. And I was really worried that because when you have dye in your hair, it helps make your hair like more manageable and stuff like that. But my hair has become so much, and my hair is very thin, but it's become like so much more buoyant, and just like the curls like are actually more like natural curls instead of these like waves. And my partner, I can say this because I know he will never listen to this, but he's thinning a bit up top. And I've actually found that he's had a little bit more like hair regrowth, probably because of the essential oils and them just like clearing those toxins away from the scalp so that new hair can actually like regrow. And
really cool.
I do use oils during the summer too to lighten my hair a little bit, like the lemon and the grapefruit, just making sure I don't get it on my scalp. But I do that, and it works wonders. So I love that. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about, like, you talked to us about how you kind of got into oils, but why don't you tell us a little bit about your actual journey now that you're with doTERRA, and that, you know, like the support that they offer, the kind of what I've been finding, and even through listening to you, I hear a lot of connection, that this isn't just your regular, MML kind of marketing thing. This is a company that really thrives on the people that they're serving and serving them well, even to the point where the leaves and the plants that they're using, they're paying those farmers a fair wage, which is something that really spoke to me. So why don't you talk a little bit about that journey?
For sure. So what has kind of made me fall in love with doTERRA even more is the heart and the focus that they have around the company. So one of the things I think that stood out to me the most was going to one of their conventions and leaderships, and there was no talk of money or what they would give us. It was literally like how they are changing people's lives. And as a farmer, this really touched home with me, making sure that they're sourcing the best essential oils, but they're also giving back to the community that they're harvesting the essential oils from. So Haiti and Africa, Kenya is really close to my husband and my heart. We've traveled to both countries multiple times to help serve and just love on the people. And doTERRA is a part of that, and that's what they do. And it's just to be able to integrate ourselves with the company now that has the same vision has been really incredible. And the community behind doTERRA, we're at over 7 million users now. And just to see the growth from even when I had started and going into the prime meridian healthcare now in the United States, like what's coming up in the next 6 to 8 years is like unfathomable. And that's exciting because it means that more people will be helped. So they will give back that much more. And to me, that is exciting. And that's why we're here, right? So I love doTERRA for the community and for the culture. Like I could live and breathe it. It's amazing. And it doesn't even have to be, say, going up this way with us and up lines and down lines and whatever. But like your cross lines is so incredible, not even being on the same teams or, in the same exact communities. My cross line support, meeting them at these events have helped me tremendously in my business and in my personal life. So I definitely embrace everything that doTERRA has to offer in the sense of it's just very welcoming, and just being able to share the oils, but know that there's a deeper meaning behind it all, and how they really, like the founders of this company, if you Google, Emily Wright, she is just an incredible woman, and her heart is for the people of these countries that are less fortunate. Even in Nepal and going back to Haiti, like seeing them distill and harvest the oils from these countries, knowing that they need it more than other places, has really made all the difference with making sure that they have not just working with the farmer, but they're working with the communities and the families. And I think that is a very important part of doTERRA. They have a huge Healing Hands Foundation, and I believe it was last September. It was really awesome. So my background is actually, I have my master's in criminal justice. My background is in sexual crimes and children. And so I'm weaving that into my business in the future. But right now, so in September, I had the opportunity to pack backpacks for girls that had been exposed to sex trafficking.
Okay.
And I love that because they work with OUR Rescue in the United States with rescuing these children and women and boys and men from sex trafficking. So we were able to be a part of that. So that was really cool that they allowed us to have a hands-on experience with packing these backpacks for these children. And so that will always be a part of my business. That will always be a part of my journey with doTERRA. And I think that's why my why gets stronger and stronger, because I want to be able to, the larger our team grows and the more essential oils that we get into people's homes means we get to give back that much more. So I could talk about it.
That's, every time I do a live with someone, I always learn something completely new about them. And that's something I had no idea that was your background. And I think that that's when I went into criminal justice, because that's what my I have my diploma in is community and justice services. I wanted to work with sex offenders and just allowing them to tell their story in a non-judgmental way, but also to hopefully help them heal that wound so they didn't want to offend again, that kind of stuff. Of course, my life went a different route, and now I don't really work with that, but I have worked a lot with a lot of women and men in the sex trade through working at homeless shelters and stuff. And I can definitely see how oils would help in that mending and that healing because memory is true. A memory, or when we can support a memory in a different way, it makes it so much better, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I think, can you hear me okay?
Back. It's good. Maybe it's freezing again. I'm still here though.
I really think that that's great, and that you're still using your schooling and integrating it into this new line of work for yourself and feeling so supported that way.
For sure. No, it's been really awesome. I think, let me see. Okay, are you back? Okay, it keeps freezing, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm back. That's okay. That's okay. I think it caught on my end, but we're good.
Okay. You can ask me a question and then I'll roll with it because it keeps freezing. Let's see. See if you can hear me still. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Is that better now?
There
we go. Okay. Okay. Maybe we just need to pop in and out.
Ooh. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Froze again. Can you hear me?
I'm not. So I guess what we'll move into.
Okay. I'm back. It froze again.
That's okay. It's definitely, it's my end. It's really windy here.
Okay. That's okay.
So what I was asking is how you take that leadership role on. So if someone comes to you and, they're really wanting to make this more than just an at-home use, they're wanting to do what you do and integrate this into their community and start making this a viable business.
Froze again.
Tough times.
Okay. So it cut off a little bit, but I think I know what you said.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I always suggest with anybody is, I've had a few people when I've been teaching classes that, they're like, okay, they're right for the business, and that's rare, but there's been a few, and actually they're some of my great business builders that I have now. But for the majority, I always say to start using the essential oils, just get used to them. I always say, okay, if the business is kind of piquing your interest, bring the oils into your home, start using them. I usually say about 90 days You know, just start diffusing, using them daily, see how you can use different methods of using the essential oils. And then I like to have a sit down with them, and whether it's over Zoom or if it's one-on-one, and just share, you know, kind of get to know them a little bit better, see why they're looking at doing a network marketing company, or, you know, another method, whether a lot of these women have, you know, full-time jobs already or part-time, and just tailoring it how it's gonna weave into their lives. And a lot of the times you're already sharing doTERRA and you don't even know it. You're talking about the essential oils to your girlfriends and to your family, and you're, you know, whipping them up a roller blend. To me, that is already sharing. So why not already get paid or have your oils paid for, right? And so if they're looking to do the business, then I love to just have a get together and just go a little bit deeper and have a little bit of a set plan, kind of like a launch month, we call it, where they teach a few classes, integrate it into their business like you are beautifully, and how it's going to work for them. Because how it's going to work for me isn't meaning how it's going to work for you, right? We all have different lives, different schedules. And so I love doTERRA for that fact, that you can run as fast as you want, or you can go as slow as you want. And I'm loving like the in-between pace right now. It's been really busy for us with the kids and life. And that's what I love doTERRA, is that it allows me to be that mom at home, but it also allows me to go out and teach a workshop on a weekend or weeknight, or do, you know, like we're doing right now, kind of having like a one-on-one with somebody. I met with a mom yesterday that I actually met her at the hospital recently. And I was there a couple months ago for something, and we had begun chatting, and I was, you know, couldn't shut up about the essential oils and how they help my kids so much. And, you know, a couple days later, she got a kit, and now I have this new connection with this woman who I think is amazing with small children. And where would I have that opportunity? So I see doTERRA as this bigger vehicle to, you know, and I think we're all craving that, especially when, you know, somebody like me, if I'm more of a stay-at-home mom, so I'm not out and about always like I am with my kids, but, you know, at a workplace or something, right, you're more interacting. So it's just a cool way, I believe, in a beautiful way of being able to connect with people and to help people. If anything, that's the most rewarding of it all. So, yeah. I think it froze. I can't hear you. I'll wait and see if it comes back up. See if you can hear
to
me.
the like 45-minute mark.
Now you're back. You were gone.
Okay.
Okay, now you're back. Okay, now you're frozen.
Okay. So what I was going to say is
You're frozen again.
how can people get a hold of you?
Okay. Did you ask us how people can get a hold of me?
Yeah, just through Instagram and through
Instagram. We're at the Essential Vine. We have our community group that's global. That's the Essential Vine community. And then I have my page, my Facebook page, which is the Essential Vine. So pretty much if you type in the Essential Vine, it should come up. But even drop me an email, theessentialvine@gmail.com. I love to connect with a lot of people that day, that way, and just be able to shoot them something more tailored or specific, if it's to do with oils or, you know, motherhood or whatever it may be.
Perfect. And just before we say goodbye, I always like to ask people if they have an affirmation or a mantra that they kind of tell themselves every day. I do one every month, and this month is just take it easy, because I am finding I'm having a lot of trouble with technology, and I'm finding that, when things start moving for us, sometimes we get caught up in that movement and we get really frustrated when things like this don't work to our advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. And so my mantra this month is just take it easy. Just, it's going to work out how it needs to work out. And I'd love to hear yours.
Yeah. So I have one affirmation that I do with my daughter daily, and then another one that's kind of more geared for the business sons. So my affirmation that I do with my daughter daily, which has taught me to be able to do this.
Oh, hang on. You're
with her. Okay. Can you hear me now? Let's see. Oh, wait a second. Okay. Can you hear me now? No? I can hear myself, but I think you're frozen, so I don't know. We'll give it a second. Okay, can you hear me?
It's kind of slow, so yeah.
Okay, I'll try. Okay, so I love her, and I every night in her bed, we say this together, and she has this memorized now as we say, I am kind, I am strong, I am brave, I am beautiful, and I am loved. And even though I'm saying it for her, it comes back to myself as well. I believe every woman needs to say that to themselves, and just be grounded in love. That's one of my biggest takeaways in this business. And one quote that I have on my computer screen that I love to share when it comes to personal life or business life is, what holds you back is not what you are, it's what you think you aren't. So yeah, I love that. Can you hear me? Sorry, let me see. You're frozen, but can you hear me? Did you hear that? No.
Yeah, I heard it. Okay. It's my end. It's definitely my internet. So
okay.
I love it. Those are amazing. I'm going to actually get you to send me those quotes so that I can add that into a post, because those are so amazing and so powerful. So I just, with how the internet's going, yes. I really enjoyed talking with you today. I'm definitely going to post your a few of your links, and so that people can get a hold of you. And this was such an amazing talk. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today, Pamela. And if you would like to get a hold of Pamela, please check out everything that I post and link, and email her. She's amazing. And I hope you have a great rest of your Friday.
Bye. Thanks. You too.
And have a good one.
Bye.